What's good? What's really good? Welcome back. Yes, back to another episode. Episode 11. You know what they say? 11 days of Christmas my true love gave to me. I don't remember what they said. Nonetheless, welcome to
11
episode
pipers
11.
piping.
Oh, he does remember 11
Yeah.
pipers piping. How do you know all of it? I only know.
Yeah, I do actually. That's one of my favorite Christmas tracks.
It's a banger. Mine is You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch.
Oh yeah, that's another
That's a
top
banger
two.
too.
That's a top
But that's besides the point. Happy New Year again. Welcome to episode 11 of Overtime with B and T. We've made it to 11 episodes. I can't believe you guys have been riding with us for this long. I thank you 1,000 times over. I know my co-host, Big Brandon, is very excited that we're still here, alive and well. And we also want to welcome our recurring guest, the number one MVP,
Chris Broussard.
Chris Broussard, the five-time champion, the debating master,
I don't know about debating master. I think that's a bit of a...
Let me hype him up, man. I'm a Bruce Buffer him.
Come on.
Sorry. Continue.
The Nick Chubb lookalike, the 3.5-star running back, the piano man himself, David, Ravens fan, Lake.
Woo! Getting dubs on the weekend.
Yes, what's good, Dave? What's good? Dave, I'm starting with you. How was your weekend? Before you even get to the game, did you have a good weekend? What did you do? Whatever.
Had a great weekend, just chilling at the house. It's COVID, so got to do that social distancing thing. But got to see my sister, so that's always a good time.
It's always good seeing relatives.
My man. And Big B, Brandon, how you been, my brother?
It's cool. This is literally the first time since 2008 I'm going into a playoffs.
I knew he was gonna say it.
And I don't have to worry about, are we gonna win? Who we gotta face? Like, stress-free. I'm watching as a spectator this time around.
As a Patriots fan, I really have to know, as a Patriots fan, do you ever worry about, like, whenever, let's say the Patriots are in the playoffs, did you ever worry about not going to the Super Bowl?
Nah, it was always a matter of who's gonna make life difficult for us.
Wow.
And then when we lost, it was like, it was usually the Ravens. So.
True.
Yeah.
Talk about privileges, eh? Not worrying about being in the Super Bowl. Already had a hot seat.
Bro, remember
what?
Remember when the Patriots were literally going to the AFC Championship every year, like, what was it, 9 straight years? It pretty much became the New England Patriots championship game because whoever was there, they had to face the Patriots.
It was disgusting.
True.
It was disgusting. And
like I said, it was usually us. So
none of us.
And we saw the Broncos a couple of times.
Yeah,
there you go.
I remember those guys.
Sometimes
I don't miss them.
The Giants met you guys and kind of, well, I guess you could say that was the Super Bowl. So
yeah, well, believe it or not, like, if we think about it, outside of last year, every team that beat New England in the playoffs went on to win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Because, like, 2011, Giants beat them, won the Super Bowl. 2012, Baltimore beat them, went on to win the Super Bowl. Well, outside of 2013, because the Broncos beat them, but then they got shellacked by the Seahawks. But then when they went back in 2015, they beat the Patriots, went on to win the championship. 2017 year, the Eagles beat the Patriots, went on to win the championship. And then, pretty much, if you beat the Patriots, you're going to the Super Bowl, and you more likely go win. But that was the norm.
If the Patriots are in the playoffs.
That was the norm once upon a time, but we're sorry now. We got N'Keal Harry instead of A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf. I guarantee you we are going to find some way to skip out on Devontae Smith in the draft and draft another linebacker that we don't necessarily need, but eventually we'll find some use for him. But you know about Bill Belichick be. We got the 15th pick. It'd be interesting to see what happens there.
Well, my brother Brandon, you know what they say in the words of Aesop, from Aesop's fables. Nothing lasts forever. You know what I'm saying? You can ride high, you can enjoy the luxuries of Super Bowls. And to be honest, I never even thought a Patriots fan would be wondering who they would be drafting in the offseason because that has never been a problem.
Yeah, because we're usually at the end of the
Until
draft. We're literally at the end of the draft. We pretty much get the scraps of the first round talent.
Exactly. And it's never been a problem until Thomas Patrick Edward Brady decided to take his ball.
You mean the greatest quarterback of all time?
Not looking so great in the NFC South, but we will see. That's a conversation for look at him. Look at him. I don't know what you're counting. Are you counting how many touchdowns he didn't score against the Saints?
Anyways, moving on to the topics today. Yes, sir. Overtime. I hope y'all.
I can't believe you just missed the opportunity to take that Tom Brady took his talents to South Beach. I'm really disappointed in you guys.
Amen.
Hey, you could have said it.
I did say it. I just said it now.
Yeah, but
Tom Brady took his talents to South
Speaking of
Beach.
6, though, there's another team that does have 6 championships, and they happen to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we just saw them on the Sunday night game. By the way, we're recording this the Tuesday evening, just so you guys are aware. So we've already seen all the games, and we're moving on to the next week. But yes, the Steelers, they lost to the Cleveland Browns. It was, what was it, 48-36?
Should have been worse.
Bottom line was 20 points. 20 points.
But the real story was that they were up 28-0 in the first quarter. So let's talk. Like, what happened that game? In fact, Dave was the one who said when we were making our picks the last episode that Big Ben's age is starting to show more often or more visibly this season than it has in previous years. And we saw when he wasn't able to air the ball out downfield, it almost looked like that surgery really took a toll on his throwing arm. So talk to us, Dave. What'd you see?
Well, for me, what I saw was what you would expect from an older quarterback. You're gonna start to see some of that body failing him in terms of being able to fall on the ball. For one, that first play where he wasn't able to fall on the ball, that's just old man protecting his body.
You know what that looked like to me? It looked like when
but you can't. Okay,
it looked like he was expecting the other guy to drop on it because he saw him there. He's like, okay, he's got it. I don't need to die for it.
Yes, which is a mistake. Like, a mistake an old quarterback would make.
You know when you see like the dishes in the sink and you're like, maybe somebody will come and do them, and then you come back later and the dishes still aren't done, and now you look like the bad person.
The only difference was those dishes don't cost you a playoff spot. And number 2, not to throw out any more of the obvious prejudice in the NFL. Last time I checked, there was a certain melanin quarterback who was accused of not doing the exact same thing in the Super Bowl.
And he got killed for it.
And he was lambasted for it. So, just going to throw that out there. But to be honest, I mean, is his fault as much as James Conner? Because they were both there.
Let's talk about Villanueva. Like this, he's not a rookie. Like this is something you practice this every week. Just snap the ball. Like how do you? It was Pouncey.
That was Pouncey.
That was Pouncey on that play.
Yeah, I forgot.
Either or.
No, but like
professional snapper.
Yeah, of course, and that's what I mean. Where it's like, okay, yeah, he's a. In that all of his mistakes were like body mistakes, not really mental mistakes. You know what I mean? And the fact that he had 4 touchdowns, that came from being able to like stay in the grind, being able to stay, continue to persist, being able to lead his team. But that's the thing, you can't overcome that many mistakes.
And also don't help that they're throwing the ball 68 times.
Yeah, you're not at that age. It's just you. If you gotta do it, you gotta do it quick and easy. You can't be. You need somebody who can run some slants. You know what I mean? Like that's
you need a run game. You need a run.
Well, here's the thing about the Steelers' run game, right? Like James Conner came in like how many years? I guess 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
As like a backup to solve a problem.
He was there for Bell
being out. Yeah. So that was like you should have drafted somebody. I'm sorry, but your backup running back is still a backup running back, even if you don't have anybody in front of him. And you know, it
You're
looks like we
muted,
lost
Tim.
Tim's audio. But you know, on a very real note, like, you know, it's about time of possession as well. You know, when you're playing from behind, you need to take that momentum out. And they just every time the Steelers would start to try and claw back for that momentum, they would have the wind sucked out of them. You know what I mean? And it was just again and again. And this is what I kind of expected. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, to be honest, I didn't think it was going to be as bad as it was especially in the first half. Like, I didn't think it was going to be.
You thought it was just
bad.
like a 14-point lead or something like
that.
that.
I wasn't expecting it to be such a massive deficit, but it's, you know, it goes to show you the team doesn't really have a true identity. If your identity is Big Ben, you know, you're depending on a lot of different things to go really well for you. But even Ben's identity itself as a quarterback has always been being able to kind of break out of those, like, you know, defensive tackles around your ankles, just push him off you, step back and throw that. That was who he was. And I don't think his body is made for that anymore. You know, at that age, 38 years old, you know, you're recovering from surgery. You gotta be in the best situations to win. And you know, the Steelers really never did shore up their line outside of Marquise Pouncey. So, like, you know, it's just, you know, what are you gonna do?
Also, I think, was it you guys I was mentioning it too, but there was a 4th and 1 and they were at the middle of the field and they elected to punt for it. This was, I think, was in the 4th quarter. Could have been either beginning the 4th, late 3rd, but they pretty much, they gave up a touchdown right after punting it when they had just gotten a couple of stops as well. So it's like, maybe you should have just went for it. Like, it's 1 yard. You're at the middle of the field.
But that's the thing about playing conservative. Like, you play conservative because you say, I have a quarterback who I can trust and a defense I can trust. Going for it on 4th down, that's a punch in the gut to the defense. You know what I mean? Like, that's you go for it on 4th down, especially from that organization. You go for it on 4th down when you know you're getting slammed, and they were. So they really, you know, like, they should have gone for it because, like, you know, at that point they didn't really have much else to lose. But when you're saying I don't have confidence in the quarterback to get it done. I don't have confidence in you know, I'm just gonna put it on the defense because they're playing better than whoever. Right? You know, you got Fitzpatrick. He played fine. It wasn't like they were getting burned. You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
Nick Chubb was the run game.
Like,
it was the run game.
Yeah.
There were a lot of chunk plays on the ground there.
Yeah.
So
best running back combo in the league right now.
Kareem Hunt, he can catch out of the backfield. He does all the dirty things, and then Chubb, he's just run you over, and if he gets into open field more times than not, he's taking it to the house. So what do you think their main focus should be for
drafting?
Like just the off season in general?
I mean, offensive line's gotta get better. It's always
they've always been a good offensive line though. That's the thing.
They were okay.
Or they just
I don't think they've ever been.
Age.
They're getting up there in age, but I think, you know, it's just that, you know, you got to shore up the inside as well, the guard position. I think that's gonna help Pouncey to kind of focus a little bit more. I think he played. I don't want to say old, but like, he reminds me kind of like of.
He made rookie mistakes. You know what you're saying?
Yeah. I think he just played like he was. His head wasn't in the game, and like the moment was big, which I feel like is not common for him. And I think that maybe it's just like the more and more like you feel like as a lineman, like you have to pick up the slack for everybody else because the D line is big. Maybe you're expecting a stunt from Myles Garrett. You know, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Like, I think that it just, you know, you shore up the offensive line, that you can extend Ben's career a little bit longer. I don't think he needs to retire yet. I think you just need to keep him upright. You need to keep him not running. Put him in a position where he can get the ball under center. Drop back.
A lot of clean pockets.
5 steps. Yeah. Keep him standing. That's what they do for Brady. Keep
Yep.
him standing, let him dissect. And I'm as a man who has, my team has been a rival of the Steelers for a long time. It was like almost a little bit sad to watch them lose to the Browns.
The way they lost.
Yeah. Like it's like, yeah. You just like, like someone you used to go at it with, back and forth, and then you just watching them just get like rocked. And you're like, damn.
You know what? You know what you sound like?
Yeah.
You sound like Tim, by the way, we still can't hear you. There's something up with your mic. I don't know. Yeah, you might have to restart or something there, but what I was saying is it kind of reminds me of you remember when Goku faced Android 19, was it?
Yeah.
And he got the heart disease and he just got shellacked, and then Vegeta comes in and he's like, look at you, like how are you getting fat like this? This is pathetic. And then he proceeds to put down at Android 19. So that's what you sound like right now. Because y'all have always been like y'all always been like the Vegeta to the Steelers Goku. Especially since y'all just showed up on the scene, what was it, like 25 years ago or so?
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't been this that long.
Yeah, so I don't know. Steelers, go get Deshaun Watson. Well, whatever you have to do, make it happen. If y'all want to put some more banners and pull away from the Patriots, you go and get Deshaun. Because the way you give him Claypool, you give him Deontay Johnson, you give him that defense too.
Problems. Fix the line and they can run though.
Problems, exactly. But also, even if the line's not the best, Deshaun's mobile enough that he can move around there.
Yeah.
Hey, Tim, are you good there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yeah. We can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what the heck the headphones is going on with. Well, the problem with my headphones, but I'm back, guys. Forgive me. Got that Nigerian Wi-Fi. Don't worry about it.
Amen.
We call it Wi-Fi. But nonetheless, everything you were saying is spot on, David. Everything you're saying is spot on, Brandon. I was actually thinking of. I was even thinking of. You remember the episode of Dragon Ball Z? Same reference. When the Android 20 wanted to blow himself up, and they kept telling him not to, and they were like, "We've taken out your self-destruct mechanism."
Oh, you're talking 16, yes.
16, when he was wrapped around Cell. Cell, as soon as Cell realized that, he was like, "Oh, game over for you." And he just basically flexed his wings and just blew him into pieces.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that, you know what I mean? The last effort and the last swan song, the last punching power of an old man. I always say, what Tom Brady and Drew Brees have basically showed us is that, like, those guys are actually at least 5 years older than Ben Roethlisberger. So you're wondering, okay, what is not hitting them that has been hitting this guy drastically? Obviously, the arm surgery is something important. Like, if Drew Brees got a surgery in his arm right now on Tom Brady, it would affect him drastically. But how do you help an aging quarterback? Run game, strong O-line, and a defense. I know you're asking too much, but we didn't complain when these guys were going 10-0 in the AFC. They were literally an undefeated team, and everybody said, these guys are going to the Super Bowl. These guys are going to the Super Bowl. It's going to be the Steelers and the Chiefs. No one complained about Ben Roethlisberger's arm or how much he could throw when they were going undefeated. So the question is, what happened? And I truly believe that first snap against the Cleveland Browns was the perfect, I guess you could say, bookend to what happened to the Steelers. Undisciplined football, which is what I'm actually disappointed with. I'm disappointed with Mike Tomlin as a black man, and also as just a coach in general, because he has been that disciplined coach where he doesn't. He's been there before. He doesn't take like anything from his players. Like obviously we've seen, but the thing is that because of the AB situation, the Juju situation, like, we saw that like this team really can lose its identity when something goes wrong. And I feel like that undiscipline that wasn't addressed when they started losing basically rear its ugly head. how do you mess up a long? Like I know, obviously, these players can make a mistake. They're human, but we're talking about playoff time. We're talking about what you need to have everything, all your ducks in a row, and they messed up that snap.
But it's just that he's been there before. It's not new territory to him. That's the biggest issue.
Exactly. If we're looking at a rookie center, sure, the crack under pressure. We're looking at a rookie running back, we understand that. But you guys are veterans. You've been there, done that. And then going back to your exact point, if you notice, there was a huge momentum swing when the Steelers started putting up points. And I don't know if the Browns actually knew what to do, because the Browns were up. I think that was when they made it a game. You asking if it was
in the
third quarter.
Yeah,
and it was in the third quarter, and the Browns were only up by a touchdown and a half. I think we were up by 14, maybe 13 points or something like that.
Yeah.
And literally, it was 4th and 1 on the 40. So they had just passed the middle of the field. They had just passed a 40. You were at the 40-yard line. It was 4th and 1. What do you do as a head coach? What do you do as a quarterback? Bro, Ben Roethlisberger is long enough to get the first down. Literally, he is tall enough to just reach his arm in. And,
you did so well without having a pause moment. Nah, it's all good, bro. It's all good, man. I don't discriminate.
Is it better to say Ben Roethlisberger is well endowed enough to get the first
that's
down?
even worse, man.
Can we cut the commercial?
What's a commercial?
Where's our sponsors at?
Sorry. The views of Tim does not replicate the views of Overtime with B&T.
I didn't know what your views you're talking about.
Don't worry about that.
I get what you meant. He could have went for a QB.
What I mean? Literally reach your left hand out with the ball, even QB sneak, anything. Yeah. Breeze with 11 broken ribs jumped over the scrimmage just to get you didn't get the touchdown, but just to try to get the touchdown. If a 11 cracked ribs, 6-foot quarterback, 41 could do that, Ben Roethlisberger, take one for the team. I know you're getting in the trenches, but that's where and look what happened. Like you said, Brandon, literally the moment they punted it back, touchdown.
Yep. It's pretty much y'all should have just went for it anyways if you were going to give up the touchdown anyway.
And hey, I know they said a lot of chunk plays was given to David's younger brother, Nick Chubb, because I know Nick Chubb is actually younger than you. Discussing how these guys are all NFL players. But don't sleep on what Jarvis Landry did to that team. Jarvis Landry cooked that team in the passing game. So that long touchdown run that he had was quite deadly. So I feel
you don't really see that from him because he's not really a burner. I was surprised to see him just take one, just a dig route over the middle, and he took it to the house.
Yeah, but they had a linebacker on him, and come on, a linebacker is not that. Bob Spillane, come on, what's
that's what I mean, guy.
He needs some explaining to do.
What? Right. That's what I mean. They played conservative, right? So that means you don't move your best corner. That means you leave everybody where they're lined up. You adjust, based on calls, and you put people where they need to be. But they're just I don't know. That's why I mean the Steelers don't really get their identity, because it's they're conservative, but they also love to air it out. You know what I mean? So I'm that those two things don't usually go together.
I feel like it's the excess of wide receiver talent that they believe they have, which is true. We were praising, you don't get you don't become obviously a high end rookie like Chase Claypool without somebody kept throwing the ball to you. Chase was cooking this entire season, so we believed that they could air out the ball at any point in time. But what was the backup plan when Juju Smith-Schuster gets killed by Von Bell against the Bengals? What's your backup plan when Chase Claypool is being, when he's being bracketed, when he can't catch the ball? You have no backup plan. And their backup plan was, let's throw it again. But Deontay Johnson, and we all know Brandon hates Juju Smith-Schuster.
Boo-boo Schuster.
Boo-boo Smith-Schuster, who was corvetting all the way back home to Pittsburgh.
What do you think of Claypool?
It's
Even
okay.
after they lost, he's like, "Oh, the Browns are gonna get
Gonna get
slapped
slapped?
next week." Like,
Who said that?
Yeah, but
Claypool.
probably. I mean, they probably will get slapped, but I mean, hey, they slapped you, so what are you gonna say?
Exactly. What are you talking
Like,
about?
you can't.
You saying that sitting at home.
It's a rookie comment. You know what I mean? You're still in your feelings. You're upset that the team beat you, and like it was pretty sad to see Ben sitting on the bench though for like a good
I love
30
it.
minutes.
I love it.
Like I know, Dave. That like as much as you revel in Steelers losing, that must have been pretty upsetting to see.
Yeah,
Well, I get it
respect
from
it.
a player's perspective because like you pour your heart out into the game, and when you come up short like that, I get it. Just because that's the athlete in me. But as a fan, I laugh at that because like you could have avoided it. You could have avoided it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, who was it that came to him? Okay, bro. I'm sorry, man. Who was it that came to him and I apologize?
Villanueva. No, it was Pouncey. Sorry. Why do I keep mixing up the two? I keep mixing up the two. But yes, Juju, he's going down that AB path slowly.
AB path. Hold on. Let's not get this twisted. He doesn't have AB talent. Let's
I'm talking about just the antics, like the extracurriculars.
All season.
He's nowhere near Antonio Brown, but just the antics is almost becoming a distraction for the team.
No, but that's my thing where it's like that's like again, this is to me like the Steelers have been having like this midlife crisis all year because like the Tomlin that I remember coaching against my Ravens was never allowed for no Corvette at any point in the season.
Yeah,
like not a 11-0, not a 0-0, not a 12-4. Like no point in the season was the Tomlin that I knew was going to be like, Corvette. Y'all remember Heinz Ward? That dude was the most serious man you had ever seen in your life. You know what I mean? Like San Antonio Holmes couldn't fit in on that squad. You know what I mean? Like, bro, it's like, you know what it's like? It's like the really strict parent that you watch just like give you a hard time about everything, and then that younger sibling that's like 10 years younger than you, and they just let everything
because they drained out. They spent all the strictness on you. They're like, yo, this is the child of my later year. We saw that even if we sorry to go biblical, but even with the Joseph and his brothers, like, the grown brothers, they had to work out in the field, be shepherds, and but Jacob was like, nah, Joseph, chill. You stay home. You read scrolls. You know, you live nice. You don't have to worry about lifting anything. But then Joseph's like, I want to be like my brother. He's like, nah, you're special. Don't even worry.
No, he didn't. Did you see that song? For I am a miracle child. Man, I was singing
that was DreamWorks.
Yeah, that was DreamWorks.
Yeah. But anyways, yes, Steelers, better luck next year. Go get Deshaun.
That team with Deshaun Watson, you know what I said. It's a game over.
It's over basically. Once the Bengals draft a serious receiver.
Yeah, people said that the Steelers are actually going to drop in that division. We're talking about Bengals. What's name gets his knee back. If they at least draft maybe get a couple of lines to protect him, linemen to protect him, get a receiver. But oh man.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. We were still praising Claypool. We were praising Minka Fitzpatrick. So maybe they just need to switch the quarterback.
As much as I hate to say it, quarterbacks do run the league. So if your quarterback is aging, you know, you're in a very bad position for most teams.
Well, I mean, unless you're Mr. Tom Patrick Edward.
I didn't say old. I didn't say old. I said aging.
Oh, aging. Oh, true. That's true.
There we go.
These guys are making it look very, very complicated.
They look very spry. Let's just say that.
Another game that we were surprised with the results. The Los Angeles Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks. Tim, please explain to us what happened to your boy, Mr.
Unlimited. It's limited until further notice.
Mr. Limited.
Since we're making another Dragon Ball Z reference, y'all remember when Yamcha ran into Android 19 and 20 and they put their fist through his chest. That's literally what Aaron Donald and Cam Akers and Jalen Ramsey and even Goff to some extent did to the Seahawks. Honestly, it was, you know what it was? It was just, some could say that they have become Russell Wilson's kryptonite, but obviously the greats know how to overcome even their flaws. Tom Brady, whatever, and Rodgers, they know how to overcome their flaws. And it's not like you didn't see them and you didn't beat them, because he did. They split during the regular season. You know what I mean? It wasn't like they didn't split.
However, I will bring it up to you, like the last 3 or 4 years, the Rams have been they have more wins over the Seahawks than the Seahawks have over them the last couple
over the Rams.
Years.
Well, yeah, and like
2 words.
If you think, pardon?
2 words. Aaron Donald.
More like 99. I hate his number because no one else has it. 99. That's his rating on Madden. That's his rating in the NFL, and that's his jersey number. 99.
I don't know how he doesn't have a higher rating in Madden, to be honest with you.
Wait, it's not 99?
Yeah, it is. It is 99.
Well, they can't give you 100.
He's saying it should be higher.
It should be higher. It absolutely should be higher. Whatever statistic he doesn't have 99 in already, he should.
Anything higher than 99 means it's a sack every time they say hut. Like he's getting into the back, which is
Do you not know that he leads the league? He leads the league in double teamed, like plays that.
And he still led the league in
sacks. It's not even the double team. It's that he still gets the pressures. He still gets the QB hits, which gets
double teamed more than anybody else in the league.
He's even seeing some triple teams as well.
Come on, man.
And honestly, like the worst part about it is because he also has Jalen Ramsey. So you not only have the best line, you have the best defensive, I guess you could say, front man. You also have the best secondary player on one team. So even if you scramble away from Aaron Donald, you're most likely throwing a pick to Jalen Ramsey. So, and with I feel like Seattle, like he just couldn't get out. He couldn't get into the rhythm where we kind of, because if you think about it, Russell Wilson's all about the comeback. Outside of the Broncos beatdown in the Super Bowl, it's really just about the comeback. You know, where it's like last minute Russell, you know, dangerous, whatever, this and that. Sierra looking on in hope and prayer. You know what I mean? Like it's always about the second. He's always about the comeback, but it's very, very hard to come back when every time you make that game felt like he would take 2 steps forward, 17 steps back, because he would get Russell Wilson with a 7-yard scramble for a first down, 15-yard sack.
Yeah. And he wasn't accurate passing the ball either. He was only 11 of 27, and one of those touchdowns came off of a broken play.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously you have Metcalf to, like, if Metcalf could block and be a wide receiver, maybe it's impossible for him to do that, which it's not going to happen. Now, I'm actually proud of the Rams team as much as I hate that. Aaron Donald actually got injured halfway through the game, but the defense was still able to hold up.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess you could say, was it rising tide raises all ships? Is that the expression? Is that the expression?
Yeah, so that's what you said.
They raised that defensive, he raised that defensive level of play.
Yeah, and also it's not like he's surrounded by scrubs as well. On the he's still got Leonard Floyd. He's got Michael Brockers. Who else is I keep forgetting their linebackers, but they got a pretty solid front seven to complement Aaron Donald as well.
Yeah. And that Williams kid, I don't know his first name, but
Darius.
He actually has more picks than Jalen Ramsey.
So it's hard to get picks when nobody throws your way.
No, but that's the thing. So it's like, Jalen Ramsey's over here. Let me try with Williams.
And he picks
you
up.
Like, you're pick your poison. You're losing either way. Like I feel like Russell Wilson was literally trying to win the game by himself because he probably got the most rush yards, and he was scrambling for his life. So it was quite like, unless Russell gets fine, like he's gonna be the son of the Rams until he finds a way to overcome that.
So what do you think they need? What is their focus in this offseason?
No, honestly, I see it's just an O-line is pretty good. An O-line would be pretty good. An O-line and a run game. an O-line and a run game, because they complement each other. If you get a good offensive line, they can block for you. So that Russell Wilson doesn't have to. Like, Russell Wilson is a great scrambler, but let that be his third option, not his first option.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, don't let them get stomped out before the guy even says hut. Like, every play has to be from the shotgun because his O-line is already going to get pushed back. And we hoped Carson would be a complementary to him so Russ wouldn't have to do it all by himself. But Carson didn't even exist in that game.
He had
so
16 rushes for 77 yards. But it clearly didn't matter. So
exactly.
He needs a power back. He needs a downhill runner so that the play action is going to be a threat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because that dude, he's the best quarterback on a boot. That's just facts. Like, he's just literally the best quarterback. Even running to his left, Mahomes does running to his left. It's kind of wild. But Russell Wilson running to his
especially
right,
because he's right-handed. Because it's like you usually want them to scramble to their offhand, so it's harder for them to like square up and throw it downfield. But
Mahomes.
I'm surprised we haven't talked about that defense though. Like, we're not gonna.
Seahawks?
The Seahawks defense. Do you think that they're
Blitz boy? Blitz boy.
Here's my thing.
You're gonna take Blitz boy over the Legion of Boom? Come on.
No, here's my issue with this, right? Where it's like, it's so obvious that you're blitzing him all the time that you don't even disguise it. And that to me is where you fail yourself as a defense, because you're throwing 8 in the box in front. So if it's the playoffs, you're facing competent quarterbacks. 8 in the box is a gimme for almost everybody who's playing in the playoffs at this point. So just so put them in coverage. Teams have been preparing for him all week to be blitzing.
Yeah,
put him in coverage. He's not an idiot. He can actually play coverage. I don't see why
he's just not the best in coverage.
You don't have to be the best in coverage.
You have to be the best. That's the thing.
All you gotta do is get home. If you trust your front seven to get home, your secondary will have opportunities.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. No. Well, I'm looking at that team and I'm like,
that base cover 3.
Their front seven is solid. They got 2 of the best linebackers in the league.
Sure.
But
it's like
you can run spies, you can run a whole bunch of disguise stuff. Like, you don't have to.
What made the original Seahawks good though was that you had all those dudes in Legion Boom. You got Byron Maxwell on one side, Sherman on the other side, Cam Chancellor covering all like the stuff going across the middle, Earl Thomas covering over the top, and then you have guys like Michael Bennett, Cliff Averill, Bruce Irvin. They were able to get home. But the thing is, like, their cover 3 back then, like when they were just coming down in cover 3 every single time, nothing over the top. They're just gonna allow you to take the underneath, and they're gonna hit you once you caught the ball. Teams are starting to figure out how to beat that cover 3. So it's like, if you don't have that same talent that you had before, how you gonna still implement that scheme now once teams are figuring it out? And I think that's the issue that they have now.
So lack of talent, same scheme. The scheme has got to change with the level of your talent play. And lest we forget, their run game was Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah,
run game was Marshawn Lynch.
So the defense was pretty rested by the time they were back on the field.
Pretty rested. That's what I was saying. You obviously would say, like, they kind of carried Russell Wilson into the Super Bowl. Like, I'm not going to say Russell Wilson was a slouch, but still kind of unlimited, half limited. He's a half tank. He was, but he was
half limited is still limited.
Half limited? No, what would you call it? He's unleaded. That's what he is. He's unleaded.
Hear this guy.
Well, you don't even look at it, whatever. But I feel like that's what's it called. That run game is so complementary to the defense, because even if the defense, like, you think about it, the defense doesn't have to be Legion of Boom worthy. They don't have to be on that level, because the guys that they have now are pretty competent to some extent. But like, if they're on the field for that long, it's sooner or later the cracks are going to show, and you're going to have a guy like Jared Goff. Expose you.
Why y'all like to disrespect Jared Goff? I don't understand this, man.
Well, I have
because
reasons why
he is a puppet. It is Sean McVay.
That's fine. I would rather have a game manager than a cowboy.
Hear this guy.
Gunslinger.
I get it.
I'm serious, man. Don't be throwing away the game. Just make those short routes. Hit that man in the slant. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
That's
sir.
all I
All
want.
right, fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, man.
Yeah. The Rams, I'm quite happy, but I'm quite upset that the Rams are moving forward
Because there's a chance that you could see them, and there's a chance that something that happened the last time could happen.
You already know, brother. Because no, for real. Okay, I guess it's gonna be our picks later on, but like that team is deadly.
Mhm.
That team is deadly.
They got the best
Go ahead.
defense in the playoffs right now.
Yes, they
I
do.
personally believe.
I mean, we're not doing too bad. I don't want to go too deep into that.
Hey.
I don't want to go too deep into that, but
let's say NFC because though that team. Hey, is that the next topic?
Yes,
Marcus
actually, we
Peters.
can bring that up right now. Unless you want to talk much about the Colts Bills.
we can talk about that after.
Okay.
All
All right, then.
About no Colts Bills.
Well, it was. I honestly, like, if I didn't look at it on my phone, I honestly forgot this game happened.
It was a game.
The first one. It was the first one. That's probably why.
Yeah.
It was a game. It was
And
played.
it was.
Phil Rivers, he wasn't the reason they lost that game. So
Yeah. He tried. He didn't throw
played
picks.
pretty good. Yeah.
He didn't throw picks.
He didn't throw any
He
picks,
threw a pick.
but there was
Exactly.
one play, Michael Pittman. He had a drop in the end zone that would have put them
That
up
drop
10.
was disgusting. Ugh.
Yeah. I would have caught that. Just
Yeah.
saying.
That was sad.
But anyways, we can talk about the Ravens Titans.
Ravens Titans, baby.
Yes, sir.
What,
Congratulations.
18 for 40? 18 for 40? Come on, guys. Come on.
Congratulations to Lamar.
No disrespect
Jackson.
to the Rams, but come on. Look at that Ravens defense doing what we do, baby. Woo.
Talk to us.
Wait. That was sorry, I'm slow. Was that was Derrick Henry's stats?
18 for 40.
Wow.
Yeah. That was
they didn't look tired at all watching that game. That was
talk to us.
But
Talk to us, Dave.
I'll be honest with y'all. It is I am a little nervous for next week simply because this was a revenge win. This was entirely fueled by hatred and rivalry.
Chomping on the logo, baby.
And we still barely won that game, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, we barely won that game. I know it doesn't necessarily seem like it, but I want you to know the difference maker in this game by far is Greg Roman. Once again, I will say it once again. As soon as we fire Greg Roman, Lamar Jackson is winning a Super Bowl.
What?
As soon as we fire Greg Roman, Lamar Jackson is winning a Super Bowl. Because if you look at all the plays where Lamar is successful, it is whenever he is ad-libbing. A quarterback of that talent needing to ad-lib to be successful is a product of a bad OC. We would have been winning that game by 20 or 30 if we had a competent OC putting us in position to win.
So I guess you said it before. So are you asking Lamar to do more ad-libbing, or you need him to just do more what are you asking Lamar to do?
I am asking Lamar to get some boots. Give this man some boot plays. Let him hit pick hard in the flat. Let him hit Mark Andrews coming across on a dig. Let him hit like Hollywood going deep. There's so many options that you got that you can take at any level and force teams to actually cover. Even if we did some like run pass options, you know what I mean? Like if we just did something to give something another look. Every time we ask him to be successful, we make him drop back and be like, he's not a running back. That's fine. You don't have to be a running back, but you're also the fastest quarterback the world has ever seen.
Yeah.
So use that. Like it's like I feel like Greg Roman refuses to do that, and I can't believe I'm here talking about a win and complaining, but like that's the best. That game was a lot closer than it needed to complain. No, but like you got a guy who ran for 2K and held him to 40 yards.
Yeah.
And you win the game by what? 10, 12 points? You know what I mean? Like it's not. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like we're not even talking about a blowout when the most important player on a team is barely even functioning in that game.
Never forget what Shannon Sharp said. He said Shanahan was telling him never accept anything in a win that you wouldn't accept in a loss. So I'm perfectly fine with you having these complaints right now.
Go in. The only time you cannot is when you win the Super Bowl. Up until then, you can rip the team apart until even when you win.
Even if we win a Super Bowl, I will still call for Greg Roman.
You just said he's not winning a job.
All right, who you want? Who you want? Like of all the people,
bro, give me Norv Turner.
You don't want Eric Bieniemy either.
I mean,
isn't Bieniemy more defensive?
He's the OC for the Chiefs right now.
Oh, I thought he was a defensive coordinator.
No, I believe Norv Turner is the right man for the job.
Okay. I mean, he kind of revived Cam's career for like one season as well.
Yeah.
So
I think he's got the juice. I think he's, I would have liked to see him have a little bit more opportunities. But you know what I mean? Like, and here's what I'll say. Like, no disrespect to Philip Rivers in this moment, but I think Philip Rivers overachieved throughout his career, primarily because of Norv Turner and LaDainian Tomlinson.
Very true.
Well, LaDainian Tomlinson is one of the greater running backs that we've seen. I consider him a top 10. I wouldn't have him top 5, but he's top 10. So I hear you. And he also had Antonio Gates, another top 5 tight end.
And Vincent Jackson.
Doesn't Tomlinson have the most touchdowns in one season?
Yeah.
And he's not top 5?
No. That shows you how good the list of running backs through the years have been.
He's not wrong.
I guess. Yeah, okay, quick question. So do you think put Greg Roman on Pittsburgh stars? Do you think he's going for it on 4th and 1?
No.
He's still gonna...
Wow.
Like, what's funny? It's true that you mentioned it because I don't know if it's Harbaugh or if it's Greg Roman, but like I do see Lamar argue a lot whenever it comes to the play calling.
He's like, yo, go for it. Yeah, he's always like, go for it. Yeah.
He's always upset. Like, I noticed that about Lamar. I'm like, I've never seen a quarterback actually like get into fits with his play calling department. I like maybe take matters into his own hands, as you can see with that.
Never forget the
5-yard run.
Do you remember last year versus Baltimore versus Seahawks when I think they were like at the 20-yard or like the 15-yard, and he's like, go for it. And he just ran in the touchdown, and that pretty much like was the dagger at that point. So
literally this dude would be the best quarterback flag football had ever seen, because all you would have to do is just drop back and just make everybody miss
and go
on his way. He's literally like, remember NFL Street, the video game?
Yes.
Yo, he's literally what Mike Vick was in that game, but in real life.
No, he's the juice of Mike Vick.
Do you think he's the best running quarterback of all time already?
All time already. That's
not
going to
even
be
a
tough
question.
for me to say.
It's
going to be tough for me to say yes, but he's definitely had the highest peak of any running quarterback.
Okay. So you think he has to do it for an extended period of time for you to consider him the best running quarterback of all time?
He's got to win. It's not about the length of time. He's got to win doing it.
Okay.
I think
running quarterbacks have never won.
That's what I mean. Like, to me, like, so for example, like a Randall Cunningham, like that dude. Yeah. Like that's
another special running QB.
It's gonna be very difficult to like put him against, like a lot of people will put Mike Vick at the top of that just because, like what he did for the Falcons, but like even that career is relatively short compared to Randall Cunningham in terms of the success. And even like people want to underrate like a Stephen McNair because he's not fast, but he was a running back playing quarterback for real. Like he was a power back playing
He's mobile too. Like he wasn't fast, but he could scramble.
Like
Kaepernick. I think he had the best playoff running QB. Yeah, like he's probably one of the better running QB playoff games versus the Packers. But like all time, I don't think he's a top 5 running QB all time.
No.
And it was
top 5 for me is gonna be like I'm gonna have to give it to Vic, Cunningham,
What was the one for the
McNair.
Steelers? Is it
Cordell Stewart.
Patterson?
Cordell Stewart.
Cordell Stewart.
I wouldn't give him
good,
top
man.
5. Yeah, I wouldn't give him
Will you
top
put
5.
Cam
to be
up
honest
there?
with you. Yeah, I give Cam like MVP Cam.
Yeah.
That dude was special.
I mean, that'll never happen again, but
Well, we can't
It
just
still
forget what
happened.
he did before. Like,
Yeah,
we
it
can't
still
forget
happened.
the
15 and
Carolina
1.
days.
Let's not get it twisted. You're right.
Yeah, MVP
Yes,
Cam
like-
was still special.
He was
Um,
he probably one of the more physical running QBs that
Yeah,
we've seen.
he wasn't
Yeah.
elusive. He just broke tackles.
He had a couple jukes here and there, but like he was
yeah,
known
but he's
more
also
for
6'6".
he was
He
known
was
more for like
very slow.
extending when he's wrapped up and he's still pulling guys with him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then there was the flip versus the Texans where he flipped into
Almost
the
got him
end zone.
killed.
Yeah. JJ Watt was a part of that tackle too. He was there a second too late.
Second
Yeah.
early, probably would have ruptured his spine. Who knows? That tackle was way too dangerous. But no, I'd put Lamar. I'd say Lamar's top 2, man, because like I know it's only for a short amount of time, and I'm God willing he is able to do this at least 3 more years before, like, not even 5 more years if anything. But like that kid is special, man, and like it's I remember the Bengals game from last year when they literally said he's making these professional athletes who have to pay bills look like high school kids on the football field. When he was just turning
that
them
spin
like
move.
turnstiles. That turnstile on a bus stop. Like it was
Bro,
disgusting.
he did. It's not even like he like slowed down speed. He did that in motion and he still maintained speed. Like what?
Do you remember his first highlight when he was in high school? When he stepped back and the guy just fell across.
And he just walked in. Like,
Hey, Cam, I remember watching that on Instagram before he was even in NFL. I was like, who is this guy? Oh, who knew that would have been the league MVP? Yeah, no, I've never rooted so hard for a specific quarterback than Lamar Jackson. And like, I need that kid I need him in the AFC. I need him in the AFC Championship just so that he is validated as what he is.
I still had him as my pick to win the Super Bowl this year. So, Dave, don't let me down. Don't let me down.
Dave, you think he's going to the Super Bowl?
It's possible.
Okay. I think they will beat the Bills.
Yeah, I feel that's more of a sure thing than the Titans.
We can save those picks for later. We can save those picks.
Yeah, we'll talk later.
But next
yes,
up,
I think they will.
We can talk about, before we get to this guy's team, we could talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Washington to be determined.
Washington, hey, I think they deserved football. Do you really think they're going to stick with football team?
They said they're going to.
They said
It's
that.
pretty pathetic, but that's pretty lame. But hey,
so
Chase Young.
It's better than racial slur.
Yeah,
it is better than
can't offend people with the football team.
Okay.
So yeah,
They have no quarterback in it.
what do we think of that game? I know we said this leading up to the week 9, but the Bucs look like they finally figured out what it is they want to do on offense. I feel like they finally found their identity at the right time.
They only did one thing different. Let's be honest. They only did one thing different.
What's that?
What was that?
They made Gronk a blocking tight end and didn't throw to him at all. That's it. That's literally it.
Well, I mean, that seems like the most reasonable thing to do, considering that Gronk in his prime is still not Mike Evans. So,
Yes. But
Who had a good
realize
game,
that-
by the way? Mike Evans had a good game.
yes,
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah, for sure. No, like those are, but that's the thing, because literally, like, if anything, like the pressure did not, like, it was there in and out, but like Brady had a lot of time to throw deep. Like, it wasn't like he was throwing quick outs to him. Although, like, a lot of those passes were huge. Like the one that he did to the AB, that's a lot of time to throw. Everybody says, oh, Brady gets the ball out in 2 seconds. I'm like, man, it's been 5 seconds and he's still holding the ball. It's because of Gronkowski, man.
The O-line, they did a very good job of keeping Brady upright this game, especially against this team who, like, you look at the guys they have. They have Deron Payne, they got Montez Sweat, they got Chase Young.
Chase Young.
Kerrigan. Is Kerrigan still on the team?
Paul Kerrigan, I think so.
Yeah. Ryan Kerrigan, I think is.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Who am I?
Who's that?
Heineke.
Oh, Heineke. Yes. He had a good
First of all,
game.
can we talk about that? Like, what the heck?
Imitating
Dude
GC.
came out of a grocery store or something like that, looking like Kurt
He
Warner.
was a
Come on.
Pathfinder before this.
Right?
He was a master guide. Homeboy was he was an usher. He was an
I think
usher
this is the
at the
classic
church.
case of not having game tape on the QB leading up to the game, and that's why like obviously the Bucks defense played terribly. But they got a couple stops when needed to. But it also don't help when you don't know what you're expecting from this guy. Because I did not expect this dude to be scrambling out of the pocket and dive out for the end zone like he did.
That was beautiful. Oh my
He was throwing some dimes though.
Yeah, that one to the corner route in the back of the end zone. That was beautiful.
Yep.
I wanted that to be the biggest upset.
I know you
so
did.
badly.
I know you
But
did.
I mean, they don't even have a name. How are they gonna beat the Bucks?
that's the point.
I think
their quarterback is basically on one leg. Their first string quarterback. Their backup quarterback was expelled from the team. Their coach has cancer.
Kyle Allen.
The team doesn't have a name.
Yeah.
And the quarterback they're using used to bag groceries. If that team beat Brady's Bucks, how sweet would that have been? Huh?
To you.
No, to the West.
It wouldn't have been that sweet because I think it's important that Breeze has a chance to play against Brady in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
I think it's important for his legacy that he goes out and he shows out.
Yeah, that's it.
I think the most important thing with the Bucks that game was getting the run game involved because Fournette, he had like 93 yards. He had a touchdown.
Big game for him.
I think they're going to need the run game for their upcoming game versus the Saints. I think that's like if above anything else, they need to get the run game because the Saints, they've got too good of a defense where if they know that you're passing, they have the guys that can play the coverage and they got the pass rusher that can get home with just 4. So the run game was important for them to get.
Okay, talking about Cam Jordan. That's crazy.
We already know Cam Jordan. We know Cam Jordan, but Cam Jordan wasn't the main problem this year. Was that Hendrickson guy? Is it Hendricks or Hendrickson?
But Trey Hendrickson is Trey Hendrickson, but he's going through a neck issue right now. So we'll see where he's at when it comes to the injury report on Wednesday. Nonetheless, for sure. Like, if anything, I'm actually kind of happy I got to see Fournette because I'm like, hey, you've been here for 16 games. Where have you been? And he kind of showed out finally. It was like, hey, Jacksonville Jaguars AFC Championship Fournette. Come on. Came out of nowhere. That's the guy that almost beat Brady, and now he's on Brady's side. It's like if you can't beat him, join him. You know what I mean?
Hey.
That's Tom Brady, baby.
Well, aside from that, the defense is getting Devin White, so maybe that'll help with stopping Kamara. Because Devin White, I'm pretty sure he was an All-Pro this year. I could be wrong about that, but he's very good for their run defense.
They're very fast when it comes to like sideline to sideline.
Him and Levante, that's a amazing.
I think. I guess we'll talk picks later, but I think that's going to be a big part of my pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, moving on, we can talk about this guy and his retirement home QB.
The unmitigated gall, the disrespect that he puts into that sentence whenever he brings up the Gnarl and Saints. But
let's talk about go ahead. Let's talk about the Saints and the Chicago Bears game. 21-9 victory.
21-9. If not, it would have been 28-3 if not for Breeze pulling the ball back, like you should say, pulling out too early, and Jimmy Graham's unbelievable catch. But this was the first time. I'm going to mention this stat again, and I'm going to mention it until I'm blue in the face. Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, and Michael Thomas have not played more than 3-4 games this entire season. They played 10 snaps before before they played this game, and they were 12-4. Brandon, okay, for those who are listening, Brandon is eyeing me with his left eye, because every time he hears about the Saints, he's just upset. I'm just spitting the facts, okay? I'm just spitting the facts. Nonetheless, this was the first time since week 9, coincidentally against the Bucs, that the Saints had a full roster. And it started slow, obviously, at first because everybody's still getting acclimatized, which was kind of disappointing because you want them to start off fast. But as the game went on, as the adjustments went on, the team that should have won and won. Mm-hmm. And for me, personally speaking, the first round exits, which is actually only one, but the first round exit is officially off my back, and I don't have to worry about that no more. But it was a good game. It was a solid game. Drew Brees, we got to see Drew Brees, whose lungs and whose ribs are finally healthy again, trying to jump in for a QB sneak touchdown. So that's a good sign. We got to see him just manage the team, something that sadly, what's our guy's name? Number 7, Taysom Hill couldn't do. But Drew Brees checking in and out of plays, dumping the ball off to Latavius Murray for a quick touchdown. It was beautiful. It was a thing of beauty. So, okay, what? Literally, stop looking at the time. Stop looking at the time. I've officially realized that the Saints are hated by everybody else.
First of all, nobody's hating, but you need to be honest with yourself. And you start talking about some of the important elements. I want to remind. No. Let's recap. Which seed did they play against?
Oh, here we go again.
Tell me the number. Just tell me the number. I just want to know the number.
So we didn't say any of that.
Just tell me.
We didn't say any number. We didn't say anything like that.
Just tell me the number.
Was it the 5th?
It was the 7th seed. They were an 8-8 team that got in after losing to the Packers. They didn't even control their destiny in getting in the playoffs.
So how did the Washington football team get in? Just because they had to put in
they won the division.
They won their game.
What was their record when they won the division?
They won their game.
7-9.
They won their game.
So clearly records mean nothing.
No, they won their game. They mean something in both these games.
No, what I'm saying is that their records mean nothing because they lost 9 times.
Yes, but like I'm still saying
Thank
that.
You.
Like,
so if we're not going to criticize that Washington team for being bad, let's not do the same thing for the Chicago Bears. When you're in the playoffs, you made the playoffs. It doesn't matter how you got into the dance. 7-9 team also won the Super Bowl against your New England Patriots. So let's not sleep. Let's not pretend that this team shouldn't be here. We all know they shouldn't, but they made it into the playoffs. So I'm just gonna disregard that argument. What's next?
Wow, this guy.
You can't disregard it, man. You can't disregard it. You can't disregard it. You know why you can't disregard it?
Why?
Because the quarterback is Mr. Trubisky.
Oh my gosh! And you had Heineke. Stop it! Oh,
so at least Heineke was bagging groceries, but at least he was at least the man came out there. Like Mr. Trubisky couldn't even hold down a job against Nick Foles, man. Like they were battling. Like
Nick Foles,
Nick Foles has been knocking on man's door all season, bro.
He was knocking, and against the Saints, he was put back to bagging groceries against the Saints too. And hey, lest we forget, this was a team with Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson. Are these not competent defensive players?
Are you
Eddie Jackson? Sorry, Eddie Jackson.
Are you gonna tell? So you're gonna tell me that the Bears have a chance to draft a quarterback? They're not gonna take it.
Okay, of course they would do the same thing. The Washington football team would do the same thing too.
No, they wouldn't, because Alex Smith is a good quarterback. So let's not even.
Alex Smith, who can't survive a season without being injured.
Okay, first of all, that's not his fault. Let's not talk about that.
But that's what I'm saying.
The only reason Heineke was playing is because Alex Smith is injured. Mr. Trubisky's who they chose.
But do you think Alex Smith could have done what Heineke did against the Bucs? You think if Alex Smith? So Alex Smith can do that. What Heineke did?
You're not serious. You don't think Anybody who thinks Alex Smith is still a game manager hasn't been watching. Still thinks about him from the 49ers. When he was on the Chiefs, he was putting in work.
No, I know he was, but Alex Smith is not who he was anymore. Is all I'm saying.
He was
And
injured. You can't tell that. They're not gonna look. They're not. I would be very surprised if they prioritize drafting a quarterback for the Washington football team. I would be very surprised. Now the Bears need to draft a quarterback.
Well, and hey, I'm not saying that the Bears have a great quarterback. I'm not gonna say he's even a competent quarterback. He's a surviving quarterback. But he is a quarterback that won his last how many games? Was it 4 games? And yes, it was against bad teams. But Tom Brady also beat those same bad teams, and everybody said, "Oh, the Bucs are looking different." Nonetheless, they had a run game that didn't work against the Saints. They had good defensive ends that didn't work against the Saints. What I'm saying is that team was a team that was in the playoffs, is all I'm saying.
Outside Montgomery and Mack, who are you really afraid of on that team, though?
Well, we were afraid of what's that guy's name? Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson's a great wide receiver.
Who needs a quarterback to throw him the ball? All right.
Okay, what's name is actually accurate, you know. Did you see the throw he gave to was it Mims?
Man, look, Mitch Trubisky's most important quality is his legs.
What happened, Brandon? Was it Mitch's fault or was it Mims' fault?
Right between his hands.
Thank you very much. We would be speaking a completely different story if that pass was connected. So that's all I'm saying.
So you're saying that team is good enough to beat your Saints?
No, I'm not saying it's good enough to beat the Saints. I'm just saying you can't just poo-poo on the Bears just because the Saints beat them, which is what this conversation is going.
I would have poo-pooed on the Saints. I would have poo-pooed on the Bears last week. In fact, I did poo-poo on the Bears last week.
Hey, listen, as Brandon always says, you play who you play, and you have to be who you beat.
I do say
they
that.
Beat them.
All right.
They beat them.
Well, he got his W.
Kirk Cousins beat the Saints last year, and all of a sudden, look what he did to Kirk Cousins. He's still the same old Kirk. He beat the Saints. So you beat who you beat.
Sounds like more of an indictment against you guys than anything.
Yeah, I don't know why you think you're complimenting yourself. I say, hey, look, these scrub quarterbacks gave us a chance. You know what I'm saying? So,
what I'm saying is that a quarterback doesn't have to be unreal to be a playoff quarterback. I'm just saying a quarterback can be competent enough to lead his team to victory, and you can't poo-poo on the quarterback just because they did not accomplish their goal.
You know what Mr. Trubisky's best quality is, right? His running ability.
Couldn't do that. He had the most running yards, though, so I guess you could say he did that. He accomplished that.
But that's what I mean. Like if you're saying if you have championship aspirations, you can't be concerned. You can't be a team that's like worried about a player who's a quarterback whose best quality is running. Like, look, Lamar Jackson, he can run, but I promise you that dude drops back and hits Holly Brown in his hands.
I mean, Mitch hit Mims in his hands and Mims dropped the ball.
Who's Mims? The rapper from This Is Why I'm High. Is that what we're talking about?
Anyway,
that's Jibs. That's Jibs.
I guess.
That Mims?
Yeah. His name was Music Is My Soul. That's what Mims.
Jibs is chain hagler.
I grow tired of talking about these Saints. Anyways, I guess we can move on to this week's picks, the divisional games. Saturday night, we got ourselves a game at 4. We got ourselves the Los Angeles Rams versus the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field in January. I don't know the weather conditions, but they may play a factor. But right now, the Packers are a 7-point favorite. Who do we have in that game?
Give me a round.
Wait, which one? There's 2 of them. There's one on the
you're right.
One on the Rams and there's one on the
Give me double discount check, man.
All right. So we're going with the Packers. How do you think this game goes? Is it a close game? This is probably the best defense they're gonna face.
Yeah, I think Devontae Adams has a quiet game, and I think that
you think Ramsey can contain him?
Yeah, but I also think that Aaron Rodgers is not going to force the ball. I think that's just. I just don't think that's currently in his DNA and in terms of how he's playing playoff football. I just don't see him forcing the ball.
Perhaps maybe it's a Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams day.
Yeah, I definitely see him spreading the love,
Okay.
and keeping them in the game and not trying to get himself dismantled by everybody's favorite defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So
Everybody's mom's favorite defensive
The
tackle. He
GOAT
looks like a good
defensive
guy.
tackle.
GOAT for real.
It's
Mhm.
scary. Guy who trains with knives.
Mhm. That dude, you've seen this dude's workout videos, like no pause,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
pause it on all counts, but this dude with a shirt off does not look like a defensive tackle.
It's
Why?
not upsetting. That's the most
Yeah.
upsetting part. He's that big and he still has abs. I'm like,
Yeah.
why are your abs that powerful that they're still growing? Even like when you get that big, you're supposed to lose abs. But
Yeah,
he's on that Braun
he makes it
Strowman diet.
work.
You know what I'm saying?
He makes it work.
He's a monster. That man's an animal. He needs to be enshrined. Like they need to just I don't know. They need to create some kind of extra award so that he can just be awarded for being great. I don't know what award because they'll never give him MVP.
No,
But he's the best player in football.
He'd probably have to average like put up 25 sacks for
Yeah.
them to give him an MVP.
the sack count was low this year, even though because it's impossible.
Oh,
to get
Everybody had low.
What do you mean
sack
low?
amounts. Like
He was like 13. It was like not 13.
Yeah,
I think
13
it was
or
like
so.
10.
Yeah, 13. Yeah, 13 and a half.
but like
while getting
compared to
double teamed all year.
years before, like sack leaders, they had like close to 20. Like
Yeah, but I'm saying, but while getting double teamed all year from a
But he's
defensive
getting
You're
double
right.
teamed too,
You're
so that's
Getting
degree
13
of
sacks.
difficulty.
That's what I mean. You know, like
yeah,
he's not an edge
But
rusher.
after all that, you still think the Packers are gonna win?
Yeah. I just don't. I honestly, look, man, that dude's great, but you got to put him in position to win.
hmm
And that's the thing about defensive tackles. They just don't. And this is why he'll never be considered the GOAT of football, because defensive tackles are just not in a position to impact the game on every play.
Saying if he
Yes.
was like an outside linebacker.
Not even out. Like they just defense is just it's tough. Defense is just
Okay.
it's one.
Lawrence
Because we
Taylor's
saw
still
what
the best
Lawrence
football
Taylor
player.
did.
Still the best football player that ever lived. Apparently, according to Bill Belichick, he's the greatest football player. So
Yeah, that's according to Bill Belichick, who also
A
thought that
defensive
he
guy.
didn't need Brady. So, anyways,
I mean, that's after 6 rings. It's not like he kicked him out of the first one.
it's true.
Okay,
But,
go on.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually leaning towards.
I just-
the Rams.
I hear you. I think you
I'm
want to
leaning
lean
towards
towards.
the Rams.
I think you want to face the Rams instead of facing the Packers.
No, it's not even that. Let me just break it down. Here's the reasons why. First things first. Everybody says that nobody wants to play in Lambeau Field because it's cold. But yet you fail to realize that these football players didn't only play in their professional teams now. They also played all over America in cold weather as well. So cold weather, like they're not high school kids who put their hands in their gloves. Like we saw what LaShawn McCoy did in the snow. He's like one of the best snow players ever when it comes to the run game.
But he
Number
also
two.
was from Philly. Like he
And
played
played
in
in
Philly.
Philly. Yeah,
That's true.
So-
But nonetheless, what I'm saying is that like there are players who play in wintertime, like people who played in Ohio, like the Buckeyes,
Okay, I
like they
get
played
you.
in
I
Cleveland.
get you.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
I
they
hear
didn't
you.
just forget about playing in the cold. Yeah, they don't play often, but they play maybe in the dome or in the warm weathers, but they're still used to that. Number
Yeah.
two, they say that defense travels. Defense travels whether it's cold or hot, and you're going up against the best defense in the NFL right now, or maybe in the NFC. Number three, what can the Packers not stop? An efficient run game. And we just saw what Akers did to the Seattle Seahawks on the ground. And you don't need to, if anything, this weather actually works well for my guy, what's his name? Jared Goff, because he doesn't need to throw the ball. All he needs to do is just
We also
quick,
thought
short
that with
slant.
the Titans too. We thought, oh, that's gonna be a Derrick Henry special because it's cold and nobody likes
That was
tackling the big guys. Look what
That's a
happened.
very
in that.
true statement. That's a very true statement. And Aaron Rodgers was the X factor in that game. I'm not gonna lie, he was the X factor. So, but think about it this way: the Titans defense is garbage. So we're not gonna put the Titans defense and the Rams defense even in the same library, talk less of the same hemisphere. So you have Aaron Donald, and then you have Jalen Ramsey plus a good run game. Come on. The equation is written for Aaron Rodgers to lose this game.
I am picking the Packers, but it's a very close game. I think it's Aaron Rodgers going to have to bail him out at the last minute, and they get like a walk-off field goal. I think it'll be a walk-off field goal.
No respect for Ramsey.
It's not out of respect for Ramsey.
I
think it's out of respect for Ramsey. That it's a 3-point game. I think that's how it played. It won't even be because of Ramsey's fault. I think he'll get some, but probably Tunyon, because I know Tunyon's been his favorite target whenever he needs like a big first down or a touchdown. So I think it'll be one of those. A long field goal where everybody runs onto the field and raises Mason Crosby into the air. I think it'll be one of those.
Well, quarterback for quarterback, Aaron Rodgers is slapping him. So, like, your
28
to
31. 28-31 that's my pick.
I'm giving it a close game too, but I think it's going to be 24-21.
24-21.
Okay.
Run game Rams.
13-10. Holy smoke.
That's true.
I do think Jalen Ramsey is going to hang out with Devontae Adams all day.
But Devontae he's not as big as the wide receivers that Jalen loves. Jalen loves those big guys.
He's 6'1". That's pretty much his ballpark.
Yeah.
He doesn't look that big, you know.
He doesn't look that big, but he's a big dude. 6'1".
Dang. Never mind.
Yeah. I just
But
I just think that like they're gonna probably just run him out of the play, and then keep the first and second read away from Jalen Ramsey, so it's not a tip drill.
So. Essentially, all right. Moving on, we got ourselves the Buffalo Bills versus the Baltimore Ravens. Buffalo is a 2-point favorite. So,
Buffalo
all right.
Soldier.
Can I just point out very quickly that this is racism?
What?
The fact that they're a 2-point favorite.
So how do you correlate?
It's a good team.
I just want to point out this.
How you correlate that?
This is racism because they don't think
the white quarterback.
It's the white quarterback.
The white quarterback versus the black, dark-skinned,
the running back quarterback.
The running back that snuck into the quarterback room and throws the ball from time to time. That's what it is. I believe you. I'm on your side, Dave. Don't even worry.
Yeah.
We might have to make Lamar Jackson a playable character in Continental Drift, if you know what I'm saying.
Quick plug right there.
Continental Drift. Keep on the lookout, guys. Whatever.
This is a good matchup. This is actually a good matchup. I'd like to see Marlon Humphrey versus Diggs. That would be a good one. Or we might even see Marcus Peters on Diggs.
That's okay. That's okay. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that.
No, that's definitely going to be Marcus Peters versus Diggs.
Marlon Humphrey is a better choice for us.
He's found another rival. He's mercy. But think about it this way, like we said again, Bills are trash at stopping the run.
I feel like they will give Josh Allen a little bit of fits. I'm solely picking this game just because I have Baltimore as winning the Super Bowl, so there's a little bit of bias. But I feel like Lamar's gonna have to outplay Josh Allen to win this game. I feel like he is capable of outplaying Josh Allen. Like if he outplays him, it's not gonna be like, oh wow, he outplayed Josh Allen. Josh Allen's been playing at a high level, but forgot that Lamar Jackson just won an MVP last year. He had a down year, but like it's still Lamar Jackson, and they've been trending upward.
I don't see how we're talking about double-digit wins on a down year in the same sentence.
I
hate that so much.
It's according to what he said, though. That's the thing. So much is given.
When your bar is set so high, even if you're here, they say down year.
Yeah, it's.
Look at what they said about Aaron Rodgers last year. He had like 25 touchdowns, 2 picks, and they said he had a down year. Most people would be glad to have 25 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So
True.
But
That
yeah,
was in the NFC Championship.
that too.
Gotta give that Aaron.
But yeah, Lamar wins this one.
Wasn't he like 15-1 last year too?
Nah,
Something stupid.
13-3.
Something stupid.
They're 13.
Yeah, something stupid.
The Ravens were 13-3.
Oh no, 14-2. They're 14-2. The Packers.
Yeah,
were
I'm just saying they were 14-2. Golly, that's not
Yeah.
that. That's why it's expected. You know what I mean? Like, no, you were MVP, big trust. Where you at? And then he.
Well, big trust. Where you at for real? Because
Yeah, where is Mark Ingram, by the way? Still not playing anymore. What's up?
I saw he was in sweats on the Sunday. I think he's probably
he's
injured.
been in sweats for a while.
He's
We're not gonna
recording
talk
more
about it.
podcasts.
We're not going to talk about it.
Okay.
Point is, Ravens for me as well. I just don't see how Josh Allen's going to deal with that pass rush.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to go well for them. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball at all. I think the Ravens are feeling extremely hot. That front seven is just coming, just knocking on doors and kicking them down. So
Calais,
I think
baby.
that's gonna
Calais, baby.
yeah, and I think Lamar's just gonna be that guy. I think he's really needed to have a breakout game, and I know people might say that his last game was a breakout game, but I think that this is gonna be Lamar's big breakout game.
I think having that playoff win under his belt is gonna be like a
yeah.
All right, let's
And
see.
now it's like he gets back to being Lamar. He gets back to MVP Lamar.
Exactly.
Like
He was
I'm
playing
thinking
with
like
a lot of nerves last game.
yeah.
What do you think the score's gonna be?
42-7.
Yes.
Snap. I'm picking 35-21. I think Lamar starts off hot and they just keep that momentum going. I think the Bills, they're kind of reeling at first, but you know how the Ravens play when they have a lead. Like they normally don't look back at that point.
Yeah, I think the only thing the Bills will be catching is their breath. So
All I'm saying is that if all you need to do, if you can limit Stephon Diggs, we've seen what Stephon Diggs does in the playoffs, Minnesota. We know what he can do in the playoffs. You limit Stephon Diggs, you have a runaway game for the Ravens. But if Stephon Diggs is at least like, if he's like catching at least over 15 if he's targeted 15 times, he's catching maybe 14 out of 15, it's going to be a very close game. I still think the Ravens are going to win, but it's either going to be a 35, maybe 30 kind of game, or it's going to be a big blowout. So I'm leaning to more of a close game. So I'm saying both in the 30s.
Okay. All right, moving on. We got this is a sleeper game actually. Cleveland Browns versus Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning defending Super Bowl champions.
You gotta hit me. You gotta hit me.
They're a 10-point
the corners
favorite.
back. They get the corners back yet? Browns get the corners back yet?
The COVID, yeah,
I'm
it should
pretty
be
sure
10
they
days.
should be getting them back.
Yeah, it should be 10 days because they had it before the game that they played on Sunday.
That's true.
So hopefully the team is back in full strength.
Yeah,
I
if they
don't.
get the corners back, it will be.
I think this is a lot
better.
closer game than people expect it to be. To be quite honest.
I agree.
Just given, again, I need to put this disclaimer out there for the people who claim that I'm a Patrick Mahomes hater. This is not Patrick Mahomes hate. I'm just going off of what they have put out there the last couple of games. All like the last 7 games have all been like one possession where it's like 3 point or 6 points.
3-point wins. Yeah.
I think.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I think that the Browns play similar to what the Raiders play, where they can run the ball. Like Chubb is like a better version of Josh Jacobs. Plus they got Kareem Hunt. I think they can keep Mahomes on the sidelines, which is evidently the best way to beat Mahomes is not let him throw the ball.
Yeah.
But I still think it's still the Cleveland Browns, and Mahomes is still good, where like he's gonna find his opportunities to score when he's on the field. We saw what Big Ben was doing to them in the second half, so it's not that far-fetched to believe that Mahomes can carve up that defense. I just don't think it's a blowout. That's all. So
I agree. I'm not gonna say the Browns is the Browns because I just
Last person that said that ate his words.
yeah.
Corvette, sorry.
But I think just them beating their rivals, I think like that was really, that was their goal. Yes,
that's the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Hey, if they come out and they upset Kansas City, then hey, but
no, don't.
I don't think it's
Baker Mayfield.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. But I think there may be a point in the game where like, could the Browns actually win this game? I think that's what we'll have. So
I think whoever. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say. We all know how my feelings are towards Baker Mayfield. We all know it's unmitigated hate. I truly believe that they're going to go into this game a little bit too high and feeling themselves. Because like Brandon said, there is going to be we got that monkey off our back. You know what I mean? No, nothing can stop me, that kind of mentality. Mm-hmm. But like what you got to understand is that the Chiefs are going to put up 30 points. That's guaranteed 30 points. Like it's going to happen. So, I remember when they went up against the Saints, literally kept Patrick Mahomes from any deep passes, and they still scored 30 points. So they went up against the Raiders. I think they beat the Raiders by, was it 30 something or?
It was one possession. Another one.
It was one possession, but nonetheless, they're going to score 28 to 30 points. The Cleveland Browns have to be ready to score that many points or more.
Let's also not forget, though, that the Atlanta Falcons held them to like 17 or was it 20? But we don't talk about that.
The Atlanta Falcons are weird, bro. That team is like a Russian roulette of talent. Sometimes they're great.
I'm just saying it's very interesting how we went from saying, oh, it's the Falcons when Brady carved them up, but then when the Chiefs were struggling in that game, we didn't really say much about it. But again, this is not Mahomes hate. I'm just asking y'all to keep the same energy. But neither here nor there. Chiefs win probably 42-35.
This guy said 42. Yeah, I would probably like look at the way the Browns were so easily like intimidated when the Pittsburgh Steelers started getting that momentum back. Mm-hmm. And that's, if I was the Chiefs, I would pay attention to that. This game looks like it's gonna be another Chiefs versus Texans from last year, where they got that momentum back and they just kept rolling. Yeah. So I know the Browns are definitely gonna come out first and score maybe 2 touchdowns. Probably 14-0, or maybe 4 or 7-0. But then when the Chiefs catch that fire, sorry.
If the Browns want to win, they're going to need to force a couple turnovers. I think that's the key to their game. Get some turnovers. Myles Garrett is going to have to make Mahomes uncomfortable for the majority of the game.
Very much so.
Even if he can't sack him, you got to put him on the ground. He's got to feel your presence. That's why Myles Garrett is there. Ribs. That's why Myles Garrett is there. He got the big money this past off season, so this is a game that he's gonna have to show out in.
If you're looking for a time to take off someone's helmet and hit him in the face, now is the time, Myles Garrett.
I wouldn't go too far.
Now is the time.
We don't actually condone whatever Tim said about views before. We definitely do not support the views of Tim.
Sorry, BNT does not support my views. I'm just saying he will have to reach into his bag of tricks, Yu-Gi-Oh! Trap card, to defeat the Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't think there's. I got the Chiefs for that game. I just I don't really know what their answer is for Travis Kelce.
Yeah, he's like the ultimate zone beater.
Yeah, it's he's really ideal for the way they play.
Mm-hmm. It's like when you go man, Tyreek beats you. When you try to play zone, Kelsey beats you.
And the Browns are going to go a lot of zone, and they're going to try and get home with their front four.
Mhm.
And that what we've seen of trying to get home with the front four, it's not a recipe for beating Patrick Mahomes.
You have to trick him.
Yeah. I don't think that's
Man just learned how to read defenses last year, so yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just don't see that being. I don't see that being a big problem for them.
Mhm.
I think the Chiefs roll. I think they roll quite easily, actually. Again, 56 to 13.
56 to 13.
I wouldn't go if you guys are wild with these points, but it would be nice to see the world go back to normal and the Browns going back home. So I will say
No
42,
disrespect.
28.
Honestly, it's no disrespect. I just don't see it happening. I mean,
What was that you were
it's
saying,
really
Bill?
no disrespect.
Tim, what was the score you said?
No, I said 42 to 28.
Okay. And last but not least, this is the matchup we've all been waiting for. The History Channel football game. we got ourselves the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints.
Tampa Bay Gronkaneers. Get it right.
The Saints are a 3-point favorite at home.
I thought the Bucks were the 3-point favorite.
Nah, they ain't going
Oh,
to give them. They lost them twice. There's no way they're gonna give them a.
Yeah, Tom Brady, baby. You don't bet against Brady in the playoffs.
All right. I think we should ask the neutral person here. Dave, who do you have winning this?
Hey.
Bucks.
And based off of what?
Devin White.
Okay.
I just think that they're gonna try and find Michael Thomas in the slants, and I think it's not gonna be there. I think they're gonna try and force it a lot of times, and that's just gonna put them in a really bad position early, and they're gonna be playing from behind against Tom Brady, and it's just gonna make it really tough.
Final score?
I don't even want to start shit bad. I feel like my friendship with Tim has just ended.
No. These are just stats. Keep it going.
24-28. Sorry, 28-24.
Yeah, it's close game.
All right, Tim, who you got winning this game?
I guess
As if that is a hard question.
Logically speaking, I'll say honestly, let's really think about it. Logically speaking, I'll say the Saints. I'm not even gonna say without taking away my fanhood out of it. No. Let's really break it down. Logically speaking, the Saints. Why do you ask me? First things first. Everybody said the Saints couldn't beat them in the first game, but then the Saints beat them. And what was the excuse? The team didn't gel. Week 9 came.
I picked the Saints to win that game, by the way.
No. Regardless of which, Week 9 came. Everybody said the exact same thing because the team officially gelled. Saints beat them 38-3. Everybody, all their linebackers were there. Their wide receivers were there. The only difference was, yes, AB was fresh on the team. So I'm not going to say that it's the same thing that's going to happen again, but I just truly believe that when it comes to Bruce Arians and Sean Payton, it's a bad matchup. It's like oil and water. They don't mix. I mean, they're technically a good mix for the Saints, but it's a bad matchup for Bruce Arians. If AB turns into Steelers AB, because Steelers AB made Marshawn Lattimore look like a turnstile, the Bucs are going to have a wonderful day. But if we're able to contain AB, Saints win.
Score?
Probably say 27-24. One field goal.
Okay. Well,
with the Texans shirt on. He's going to say this with a Texans shirt on, by the way. I'm so glad you didn't pull a Skip Bayless and go buy a Tom Brady Buccaneers jersey, for God's sakes, or stitch one up together yourself.
I learned a long time ago that you never bet against that guy when the lights are the brightest.
Were the lights the brightest against the New York Giants?
I still didn't bet against him. Like if I go down, I'm going down with my ship. I'm picking the Buccaneers to win
The
this.
lights were pretty bright when Malcolm Butler caught that interception.
I know. And what did he do in that fourth quarter?
No. Malcolm Butler won that Super Bowl.
Yeah,
That's
but
it.
when they were down 10 in the fourth quarter, who brought them back in that game?
Did the game end when Tom Brady finished that touchdown, or did the game end
Does
on Butler's interception?
Malcolm Butler's interception matter if Brady does not force that comeback?
Are you kidding me? So what matters more, the thing that happened at the end of the game or the thing that happened before the thing that happened at the end of the game?
I'm just saying, man, look at the numbers.
Look at this.
The numbers.
There's even a
Well, anyways, my reasoning behind the Buccaneers winning, like he said, I think Devin White's presence. I feel like if you have to stop one of the guys, it's either you stop Michael Thomas or you stop Kamara. I think Devin White's presence will be felt more with stopping Kamara on runs. I feel like Kamara, he'll still get his yards, but I think he'll have to be through the passing game. And we all know Kamara, he's one of the best receiving running backs in the game, not named Christian McCaffrey. Story for another day. But I think this will be his best game. Like, I feel like if they lose, it won't be because we're leaving the game like, oh, Brady wet the bed. I feel like if they lose, it's just because the defense wasn't able to stop Drew Brees. Like, this is gonna be a barn burner of the game. We're gonna be on the edge of our seats the entire way.
Hey, I hope, man.
We might see a couple of lead changes throughout the game. In a perfect world for me, that's what I want to see, because the retirement home QBs, this is most likely the last time they'll be seeing each other ever.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Is Breeze actually hanging up the cleats?
Listen, if I
He
was
better.
Breeze's wife,
He better.
If I was Breeze's wife, I would call him to hang up the cleats. I'm not trying to have this guy rough. Look,
he better.
Broken thumb last year, 11 cracked ribs. What do you want the guy to be, a paraplegic before he goes back home to his beautiful wife? Come on. Christopher Andrew Breeze.
Yeah.
This is the last ride. As a Saints fan, as much as I love him, last ride.
I think that Brady. Well, no, I'm not even gonna go there. But if the Buccaneers need to win this, Mike Evans needs to win a couple of his matchups with Lambeau.
Yeah,
he doesn't have to win all. He doesn't have to win all of them. But he needs to have a couple of plays where he gets the better of Lattimore. I think that's the real matchup we need to see, because we all know Marshawn, he's had Evans pretty much under lock and key every time they face in like the last 2 years.
But the crazy thing, like you said, it doesn't matter if it doesn't happen in the playoffs. Sorry, David, go ahead.
I was going to say the X factor in this game is actually Chris Godwin. So
that too, he has to recover from that ugly showing he had. Yeah, he had a touchdown, but like there's a lot of key plays where he had drops as well. So
yeah,
allow him.
I think he's gonna have a much better game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be like I think it's gonna be a close game. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just gonna be
old man versus old man. Cameron Braid as well.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. You're gonna see only Cameron Braid, because
I'm crying.
There's no way they're living there. There's no way Gronk is leaving the pocket. Let's just be honest. Come on.
Hey, man. Sure. If it's a red zone play and it's Gronk versus what's his name? I forget your running back.
You don't even know.
What's his name?
A running back?
No, you're right outside linebacker. Sorry. What's his name?
You mean Demario Davis?
Yes, I think he needs. I think he needs to win those matchups.
Disgusting.
I think he needs to win the matchup against Demario Davis.
Well,
in the red zone,
Demario won it last time, so I believe that he can win it again.
Hey man, just throw a jump ball to Gronk. I know Gronk can beat Demario on a jump ball there. So
I don't know about that, but what I do know with certainty is that this is going to be a close game, a good game, and this is going to be like, wow, our childhood is like really
going goodbye, for real. You know the crazy thing about it is, Brandon, I'm not gonna lie, like I don't want to be a homer or nothing, but like let's be honest. If the Saints beat the Buccaneers, they're going to the Super Bowl. Just be honest with yourself. Whatever team wins this game, whatever team wins this game is going to the Super Bowl.
Are they beating?
You think that these two teams are better than the two teams that are playing the other game?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, yes.
Okay. I won't call you a homer, but
no.
My God, you're a homer.
I'm saying the Buccaneers. If the Buccaneers win, the Buccaneers are going. Like, yes, they lost to the Rams, but they also beat the Packers. I feel like they are the Packers' kryptonite. But I'm just saying, whoever wins this game is going to the Super Bowl.
I don't think you understand how lucky both these teams are to not be facing Aaron Donald right now. I don't think you really understand how lucky
interior pressures of madness. You're right. Interior pressures of madness, but offensive line has to hold up. Tampa Bay's offensive line did well against Chase Young. And the Saints' offensive line has been doing well for Drew Brees.
You think Chase Young is in the same stratosphere as Aaron Donald?
Maybe not. He's not in the same book, but he's in the same.
He could get there.
He's in the same YMCA. Okay.
Where is he right now?
He's not there. He's career.
Okay,
he's not there
thank
yet.
you. I'm glad we had this conversation because it's very important.
Hey, Tim was the one who said that. Don't include me in.
Here's the thing about Brady. Though. What Brady's really good at is stepping up into the pocket.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to do that against Aaron Donald.
My guy, but he played Aaron Donald in the Super Bowl, and
it was only like 13 points they put up.
But who won?
Brady.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's Aaron Donald's fault.
Yeah.
I mean, the defense did hold Tom Brady, but still, Tom Brady, like Brandon says, when it comes down to it, my guy.
I don't bet against that guy.
So
Look, I hear you. I picked the Bucs in this game, right? So I'm not here betting against him. I'm just saying, as a man of his size, in terms of like frailty,
ankles.
if I was the Bucs, the last person I'd want to see is Aaron Donald.
But then you said the Packers are going to win, so that's potential Packers versus.
Again, I think the Packers are just in a different position. I think Aaron Rodgers is just on some next level sauce this season, and he's been throwing it to everybody. I know people think that it's just Devontae Adams, but
I know for sure. You got what's that guy's name?
Because everyone else is getting the trickle down. Whatever Adams doesn't get, everyone else gets.
What's the guy? He's got like 3 names. He's a really good wide receiver. Valdez-Scantling is a really good player.
Yeah.
I don't know why people don't do it.
There's a reason why he threw.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say there's a reason why he threw 40 touchdowns this season, and I think we're gonna see it on Sunday.
And they say he doesn't have weapons. I'm sorry, but I think this is the best Packers team since the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still not that receiving core, but yes, I think.
Yeah, since that time, the gap is there. But I'm just saying, look at the guys that they have. You have a run game. You have a great. We literally argue it all the time. Devontae Adams is top 3, top 1 route runners in the NFL
number
right now.
Number one route runner. I'm not sure about the best receiver, but definitely number 1.
Yeah, route runner. Yeah. So your weapons are there, Aaron. The question is, can you finish? He's written a good book. Can he finish it with a good bookend? And his last chapter be worth it?
Well, we'll see. We will see. Any final thoughts from you guys, or?
If the Saints lose, you'll never see me again. Point blank.
Hey, Dave. I'm just saying, we carpool up to Belleville when they lose.
Yeah,
I said when. I'll never give you my address.
Don't worry.
I don't think there's that many people who look like y'all living in Belleville.
Yeah, there is. You'll probably see me on the highway or on the Walmart or something. And I'm probably wearing the hat too.
Alrighty then. Well, I guess without further ado, I guess we are at the end of episode 11 of Overtime with B&T.
Yes, sir.
Playoff football. Let us know in the comments what you guys think about these games upcoming. We hope we get some engagement from you guys. I want to hear from you guys. Leave something in the comments, even if it's like a forward slash or a backslash. Or my favorite, drop a semicolon so I know that you are listening right now.
And even if you disagree with everything we said, still comment and tell us why, or who, why not, who you believe, who's lying, who's a homer. You know, it doesn't matter. We'll accept it.
It's clearly this one to my left here, right there.
That's David. You're pointing at
I
David.
know. I'm pointing at David there.
It's definitely him. Yeah, sure.
I'm 100% admitting to this.
Thank you, Mr. Chris Broussard, though, for pulling up once again.
I do.
Hopefully, the Ravens will be chopping on the logo of the Bills.
We don't do that. We don't do that. We have.
You guys just finished. You just finished.
We returned. We returned the favor. That's what it was. Let's not. Hey, look, they did it to us for no reason.
I know. Mike Vrabel too, the coach. What? Why?
Hey man,
crazy.
Once again, you know where to find us on the social medias. B Brandon Andrew. The B is a 6 in that. Tim, he goes by Dem Ones, DEM 1E 1N.
No, Dem Ones. The one is the actual 1 NEZ. So DEM 1 NEZ.
Yes, there
Dem Ones, baby.
And Dave, I keep forgetting his stuff.
Mr. underscore Piano Man.
There we go.
I gotta start.
Billy Joel. Yes,
I gotta
sir.
Nick Chubb Senior.
Oh my goodness, here we go.
He looks exactly like Nick Chubb. Get out of here.
Oh my goodness.
I wish I could run like Nick Chubb. Shoot.
Hey man.
Hey man, pull up the college tape or the high school tape.
The high school tape is nice. Can't lie.
Anyways, we hope you guys join us back here once again for next week when we get ready
next week is gonna be a championship. It's gonna be a madness.
One of us is gonna be very disappointed this time next week. That's all I know.
I hope it's not me.
I hope it is Tim.
I love
it. My team's not in the playoffs. I got nothing to lose.
That's true.
So, with that being said, I hope y'all have a great week. I hope I do. Y'all stay safe. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. COVID's still out there, guys. So
yes, sir.
It's just
stay safe, guys.
We are signing out. Peace out.
Later.